It's a great time of the year. Making it back to the Pentagon is always a goal of ours. So we're really, really excited for Friday. We have a difficult matchup, but everyone that we would see would be. So we're excited for the challenge to take on Concordia-St. Paul again.
This year, Chelsea, you guys are playing Concordia, like I said again, but circumstances are way different. Like you're not that Cinderella story anymore. So, how does the feeling entering into this game compare to the one 2 years ago?
Way different. We don't have to preach a miracle story or something like that. We just go in business like, knowing what we're good at, knowing what beats us when we don't play well. So we're just focused on what we are good at and do things well, and really honing in on what Concordia does well and trying to take some things away from them.
You guys have obviously had a really great regular season this year. How important is postseason success in measuring how successful the season was as a whole?
We've taken a lot of steps this year. This is the next step, not just making it to the Pentagon, but getting a win there, getting an opportunity to advance would be important. And I think, I talked to a lot of coaches around our league. There's not that one elite team that you just have to play your best and hope they stub their toe on game night. Every team has an opportunity to beat anyone. There's a lot of teams that didn't make it that are pretty darn good. So just the reality of that, of understanding, we have a great opportunity to take a next step for our program. And like you mentioned, it doesn't need to be a Cinderella story. It's a great opportunity.
And what tells you that this group is ready for this moment?
Just the maturity all year that I've seen. A year of COVID and seeing how it has affected us, of course, but the maturity of growing up and understanding and not letting things we can't control affect us has been really impressive. I mean, from the kids who play every night to the kids who have to show up to practice and get beat up on and never get to see their name in the paper or their, even court time. It's just such a mature group that we have, and it's so fun to go to practice every day and see, they're in control. It's not a lot of coaching, and that's when you have a good program, is when you don't have to coach a ton.
Chelsea, I was curious about like what your guys' schedule is for when you're taking off to go over there. If there's any restrictions on like if you can't get there as early as what you want to be, what's the situation with that?
There is a lot in our meeting yesterday with the conference. It was a lot, but we will leave Thursday morning. We're going to wake up and practice here, so we get that feel of an early game. 10 a.m. for a game is different. So we're going to get them up early here, practice, and then hit the road, have a day to travel to Sioux Falls, and then have time to relax and not get there late. And then we'll get up and go. We could have gone Wednesday night and then sat around all day in Sioux Falls, but we decided to do it this way just to prepare them for that game day atmosphere. But yeah, you got to go in a certain door. You have 10 minutes to get in. You got to exit a certain door immediately. If you win, you can't stay and scout live. There's a lot of, things that they've put in protocols to mitigate anything from happening. The conference always does a wonderful job. So there is a lot, but we're trying to avoid a lot of that commotion by just making it another business trip.
Yeah, and that was the next thing I was going to ask about is obviously we were talking, you had some afternoon games, some evening games, but never 10 a.m. in the morning. Obviously that presents a little bit of a challenge. Concordia-St. Paul's got the same thing, but talk about the challenges that 10 a.m. game brings.
We kind of tried to even mimic it a little bit last weekend going to Crookston. We came back after our Friday game, and then we woke them up, got them in for film and shoot around, and then headed back for that 1:30 game just to kind of get them going and get their bodies used to that. We knew we'd potentially have a 10 a.m. game, and we'll have a 10 and a 1 if we make it. So it'll be all early games. So it's just, hey, get ready, you don't have time to think about the game, which is kind of nice. You just wake up and go, and hopefully we'll be prepared, get our legs going.
Last thing, just kind of as a whole tournament, you got 3 games in a row, hopefully is what you want to do. Is it kind of for you as a coach, just kind of got to take it one game at a time?
Oh gosh, yeah, definitely one game at a time. if we do win, we'll play USF or Duluth. We just played Duluth. We watched USF play Southwest a couple of times. We watched USF play Concordia a couple of times. So, we're obviously ready for whatever happens, but it doesn't matter if we don't take care of business against a really good Concordia team right away on Friday.
Okay, Trinity. 2 years ago, you guys went into Concordia-St. Paul and beat them. And you guys played a great game, obviously, and just went crazy afterwards. What do you remember about that game and that night?
Personally, I just thought that we all played like our best game. We didn't really necessarily start off all that well, but towards the end of the game, that's when we were playing our best basketball during that game. And I think that we were just getting so excited for each other. And that kind of made a difference in the atmosphere. And it was just a really fun gym to play at even. We had a lot of fans come. So that was super important for us too. So I just thought that we all played really great basketball. Defensively, we played really well. So it was a super exciting game, obviously.
Yeah, and this year circumstances are way different. Like you're not that Cinderella story anymore. I guess how does the feel entering into this game compared to the one 2 years ago?
I guess now we realize we're the team that we always knew that we could be. We know now that we're capable of actually competing with other teams, not necessarily being always the underdog, like, hey, we have nothing to lose now. Now it's, hey, we do have a target on our back and they know that we can compete, so they're only going to play that much harder. So just knowing that we kind of have to go in and do the same.
You guys have obviously had a really great regular season this year. How important is postseason success when you measure how successful the season was as a whole?
I think just kind of going into it with a great mindset, always willing to compete with each other and then going out and competing against other people. I think just keeping a confident mindset, I think it really comes down to, are we dialed in or not?
And what tells you that this group is ready for this moment?
I think for once we're the veteran team. I think, all of us upperclassmen for sure kind of had that experience of, okay, well, we've been to the Pentagon before, and now it's our time to actually compete there and play our game there. We kind of got our nerves out the first year that we went. And so now, it's Rachel's turn to kind of feel the spotlight there. I think she's done a great job of maturing. She's only a sophomore, so just having a lot of expectations for her, just knowing that she stepped up to the plate a lot, being only a sophomore. So, we have a lot of faith in her. We have a lot of faith in the rest of the team, and we just got to keep competing.
Trinity, you guys have had some late games, some afternoon games, but you've never had a 10 a.m. game bright and early in the morning. So we were joking around saying we're gonna have bacon and eggs while we're watching you guys. So it's we'll talk about the challenges that a 10 a.m. game brings.
I think not a lot of us are typically morning people. I know that I'm not one of them. So just kind of getting up, trying to get myself energized, and we have breakfast I think by like 7:40 or 7:30 in the morning or something like that. So just trying to get the atmosphere going and getting everyone's attitudes, bright and early, early bird gets the worm. So I think just trying to get each other going in the morning, trying to wake each other up. And some girls are excited for the morning game. So I think that will definitely help a lot, but just having a good mindset going into the morning.
And then what have you guys seen at Concordia-St. Paul, and what kind of game do you expect that to be?
I expect it to be kind of a fast-paced game. They're definitely looking a lot to shoot the three. They shoot a high percentage of it too. They average, I think we were talking, 75 points a game. So they're definitely looking for their shot every single time down the floor. They do run the floor well too. So they run their sets pretty clean. But yeah, I mean, we're expecting a fast-paced game, but I know that that's the type of game that we like to play too. So
Well, Rachel, last time BSU played Concordia in the playoffs, you were a senior in high school. Do you remember watching that game or hearing about that upset?
Well, I believe that day I actually had a basketball game, so my dad and I watched it a couple days later, and we saw everything on Twitter about how it was an upset and actually knocked Concordia-St. Paul out of the national tournament, which was awesome for Bemidji. So yeah, I just remember hearing about it and I was like, wow, that's super cool. Like hopefully they can keep it going and yeah.
This year, you guys have obviously had a really great regular season. How important is that postseason success and measuring how successful this season will be as a whole?
For sure. I think it's important because I mean we came all this way in regular season. We've shown people, hey, we're, not just some team you can look past anymore. We're gonna give you a run for your money. So I feel like we've came all this way. So let's go show the South, North that, what we're made of.
It seems like, just about every week this year there was something like, oh, the first time since the 90s, first time since the 80s that you've done this or that. How much fun has this year been, just with all that the team has been able to accomplish this year?
It's been so much fun. It's every weekend after we play, did we, break another record or um yeah, I don't it's been so much fun just knowing that how many records we've set or like the first time since before we were born, before I mean our assistant Erica before she was born, you know, it's awesome.
And as you guys, prep for, Concordia and then hopefully beyond, just what tells you that this group is ready for this moment?
Um, well, um, we're all ready for it because, like Trin said, we're finally a veteran group. We're all, I mean, Brooklyn, Trin, myself, pretty much everyone, the posts, we're all stepping up to the plate this year. If someone's not having a good game, that means three other people are ready to step up to the plate and, do their job. So, I don't know. Someone always has, a great game, and when you have three other people that also score, quite a bit in a game, it's just really helping, especially having three people this year averaging double digits for points. That's a huge thing, and a lot of people that have scored a lot in the game. So, yeah.
I'll probably have the same questions too, Rachel. Don't know if you're a morning person or not, but 10 a.m. is going to come pretty quick. How are you guys dealing with the challenge of an early game?
For me, I'm just thinking of it like a AAU tournament. We've all had the 8 a.m., 9 a.m. games, so we've all been there. Um, it's just, we haven't been there for a while. So, um, we can do it. We'll be ready for sure. Um, I'm not the biggest morning person, but once I'm up, I'm up. So there's some people on the team, like Trin said, that are super excited and others that are rather have the later game. But no, it'll be good.
That's funny. We were just talking about that for AAU too. Those 8 a.m. games on Sunday
Mhm.
mornings, or whatever. I remember getting there like 7:55 and just
Mhm.
lace them up and get to work.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And then Rachel, obviously, kind of talked a little bit about Concordia-St. Paul. You guys upset them when you were a senior in high school. What do you know about this year's team, Concordia-St. Paul? What have you guys seen out of them? And what kind of game are you expecting? How are you guys gonna hopefully come out on?
Like Trin said, they're definitely looking to shoot the three. They don't need a lot of room to shoot it, so we really have to be up in their face on defense. And they also like to push pace, like Trin said. So as long as we keep up with them and play our game, then it should be a good game.